issue that impacts 100% of the counties, the coastal counties in Georgia. And at its heart, what we're seeing or what we're dealing with here is an $88 billion private corporation that is asking our state's government to give them the power of eminent domain to take private property to build a petroleum pipeline that it says will benefit the public. And that can sound good in the beginning when you listen to them quickly, but when you hear eminent domain, I want to put a personal touch on it for Richmond Hill, because this is what it looks like. Here's a lady named Susan who lives on Hope Creek Road that got her letter from the Palmetto pipeline just a couple of months ago, saying that her property is one that's on the pathway that may be considered for this project, and she doesn't have any interest in having a 167,000 barrel a day pipeline rolling through her backyard. That's right here in Richmond Hill. There are hundreds of people in the state that are getting those same letters, and not all of them have gone out yet. So our position on this is anytime you have a private corporation that is seeking the most intrusive public power available, which is to say that was your land and now it's my land, they should be subject to the highest levels of transparency and scrutiny from the public about what their real intentions are. So I don't have much time, but I want to just touch on one, and then I'm going to be here afterwards to answer questions. I work for Colonial Oil, so a lot of people ask me, well, Ryan, isn't this really just about competition? And my answer to them is, nobody can really tell yet based on the information that's provided. And here's why. Kinder Morgan says they're going to introduce more competition to the marketplace that could result in lower prices. They don't say it will. But they could answer two questions for us that would tell us whether or not this pipeline really has the potential to lower prices. Because two things have to be true. And before I tell you what those two things are, I want to explain to you in a nutshell how fuel gets into our market today. Think about toll roads. Today, the cheapest gas in the world is being produced in our Gulf Coast, and it arrives here in our market by two toll roads. One is by water, comes on a vessel into the Port of Savannah, and then it gets trucked to the local retail station. The second toll road is pipelines. Pipelines coming up from the Gulf Coast that stop in North Augusta and Macon, Georgia, and then are trucked into the retail market. Right now, today, 75% or more of the gasoline that you put in your vehicles comes by that second toll road. Pipeline to truck, then to retail. That surprises a lot of people. People don't realize that we're already receiving pipeline product. Here's the reason why. That toll road is currently the cheapest way to market. It costs about 11 cents a gallon to move product out of the Gulf Coast to retail by that pipeline. The water toll road costs about 16 cents. So that tells you why Colonial only has about 15% of the local market share. It's very difficult for us to compete against that other toll road. So now back to those two things that have to be true for this new pipeline, this new toll road that they want to build with government assistance. For that to have the potential to reduce prices. Number one, that toll road has to be less expensive than the existing toll roads servicing our market. Has to be less expensive. If it's not, forget about it. Kinder Morgan refuses to answer the public's question about whether or not it's less expensive. Even if it is less expensive, one more thing has to be true. It must be open to fair competition. Right now today, you have over 24 competing marketers and suppliers for this fuel supply here. Combination of the pipeline and the ocean terminals. If this new toll road is only open to one or two suppliers that are very large, that are somehow advantaged and are able to undercut the existing toll roads, guess how much of that savings will be passed on to consumers? Zero. There is no incentive to pass on savings if there's no competition. Sounds an awful lot like a monopoly. Kinder Morgan will not answer the public's questions about who has access to this pipeline. They won't answer questions about this. Right now, the existing toll roads by pipeline into Georgia, they have one tariff for everybody. Everybody pays the same toll, whether you're Colonial or whether you're ExxonMobil. This pipeline has 4 different tiers of rates, depending on the volume you ship. Why, if our existing toll roads only have 1 tariff for everybody, so you have a level playing field, big or small, does this one have 4 different tiers? Kinder Morgan will not answer questions about why it's set up that way or what the different prices are associated with those different tolls. So I don't have any more time. I've got to stop it there, but I'm going to stay around afterwards. And I just encourage you all to subject the pipeline, the proposed pipeline, to the same 4-way test that you all hold yourselves up to. Is it the truth? What is the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Is it fair to Susan and your neighbors, not just in Richmond Hill, but throughout the coast of Georgia? Does it pass the test? And if that organization, that private corporation, is asking for the most intrusive public power out there, shouldn't they have to answer the public's questions? Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Ryan.
Appreciate it.